He's been the one to beat all weekend. He's got the big lead in the championship. But let's go racing. When these lights come on, they'll go on in stages, and then when they go out, that's when we go. So here we go. We're lining up. Everyone's nice and formed up, just waiting for the lights to go. And this is Higher Sung Cup. Thank you to CarlCox Motorsport for everything he does for New Zealand motorcycle racing. It's a pleasure to have his support and following, and a good start from Reeve Lee as well on the Supersport 150 entry, so he'll find himself handy to the pace. Simon Beard gets away okay. We've got guys like Jacob Stroud who are in this race as well, so it'll be good to see him. We've got really good stuff. Nathan Finlay, he's gotten stronger and stronger the whole weekend, so look out for him in this one. This is the fifth and final race for these guys this weekend, a 5-lapper in the cards. We've got some really promising stuff out there going well at the moment. So check it out. Higher Sung Cup. These Higher Sung GT 250s were born into the country. They stopped making them a few years ago, but with the hard work and dedication of guys like Carl Cox and Ken Dobson, still out there, and a very affordable, fun race class. And it's literally this series over the last 10 plus years has bred multiple New Zealand road racing champions, including Daniel Medham, a New Zealand Superbike champion. We've had former 600 Supersport champions like Avalon Biddle, and Daniel Medham, of course, won a 600 title as well. Nathaniel Diprose won a Formula 3 title and a 300 title. So many legends and champions been born and bred on the CarlCox Motorsport and Higher Sung Cups. We salute the genius that is Ken Dobson for his hard-working and ongoing support of this. So Simon Beard, he's got a pretty good lead in this one here. Jacob Stroud, he didn't enter yesterday's race, so he's only been on the racetrack for today. But good to see him racing all the same. And we've got guys like Nathan Finlay who are just getting stronger and stronger, and I'm looking forward to see if he can really get out front and have a good go at this one. We've got Guy Webster and James Fordyce. We've got Megan Kemp, Rory Garvey, and Becky Newbury. Well done to Becky. And we've got Bo Laurie, Blaine Pyarama, Hayden Fordyce, Jason Hazardin, and Jared Thompson rounding out our top 13 as we see them down the back straight for the first of 5 times. It is into the flip-flop. That's the bright yellow machine you see out in front of Simon Beard. So let's check them out as they go out of turn 14. It's anyone's race at the front. It's a 2-horse race. They've sort of broken clear. Looks to be Nathan there in second place. So yeah, it is Simon and Nathan first and second. We then have a look to third place. Reeve Lee's up into 4, so a good start from Reeve Lee. He's on the smaller Supersport 150 machine, the Yamaha R15 for Countrywide Real Estate, Wise Concrete and Pro Moto. Well done to Reeve, and looking forward to him getting better and better as we see. It's Bo Lowry, the one in third place. We missed it on the update, but can catch the update now. So the fun production-based motorcycle racing that we know from the CarlCox Motorsport Higher Sung Cup on display right now. We also have the Supersport 150 entry of Reeve Lee in there. All the best wishes to Debbie Tam. She was the other Supersport 150 entry, but had a crash here yesterday and unable to join us today, so wish her a speedy recovery and all the best. But we're going racing. We still have 15 people out on track to go with the 18 inches, so not a big attrition rate like we have seen in some of the other classes, but some really good racing all the same as we highlight this one. Higher Sung Cup, we've got 3.5 laps to go, and heating up out the front, the battle for the lead red hot.
Well, race time now at 3:30 in the afternoon, and who knows, we might have even got slightly ahead of ourselves because we've ended up by shortening some of the racing, and due to the attrition rate, the classic bikes have withdrawn from the event, so that drops the whole race out of it. So after this, we effectively only have 5 to go, and we've got an hour and a half to do it before the curfew of 5 p.m. to wrap up racing here. Underneath the shadow of Tahara, different kind of a day temperature-wise, only a local high expected of 22 degrees, but in fact you wouldn't want to be out in the breeze today. It's a little chilly, but what that has done is met with a little bit of cloud cover. We've had a much better circuit surface temperature today, so that's been that we've really only had one race where we've had the red flag during the race. We've had one race with the red flag after the race. We're going to talk about that for the next 20 years, I reckon. That was freaky. Then the red flag and the incident occurs after the finish, but anyway, that's another story. You've all heard it first here at Taupo International Motorsport Park today but certainly to have it through the race was only that earlier run for the 600s, and good to know that most of those guys have recovered and rejoined our racetrack, and we'll have them sparking and looking even better, I'm sure, by our final outing here today. So coming up next will be our post classics, followed by Superbike, Supersport 300, classic sidecars, and Supersport 600. But at the moment, all on for this Carl Cox Motorsport class. It has been such a good one over the years. I've loved its input, in fact, into Motorfest. Now, Motorfest should and would have been held last weekend, but another COVID-plagued event. And to see the fact that we have our two-stroke racing, we have our classic racing, we have our legendary golden oldies, some of our superstars of the sport that are there to compete, like the people such as Robbie Phillis, for example. We've had of course Aaron Slight and others. We've got the names go on and on. Simon Crafer, a guest with us a couple of years ago. The legendary Croz is there. It's just a superb event, as organised by Paul Tracy each year. Love all the work that those guys have done and the input for the sport. But to have the Carl Cox Motorsport as part of it, and they do a Le Mans start, so the bikes are held by somebody on one side of the track and the riders on the other. When the flag is dropped, they run across the track, their engines are dead, they've got to get on their machines, start their machines and go racing. It's a cool thing to see the Le Mans start, but more important to see all of these young kids that are involved in motorsport. So it sort of adds a novelty to an already fantastic event that I'm sure will be shaped up and be even bigger and better in 2023 once this plague is gone and been forgotten. All right, so back to the racing. Simon putting it together there at the moment. Last time, remembering the margin 0.9, it only looked similar this time. And Nathan Finlay, another young gun to come in through here. So this is looking good as well as we go towards the update. And at this stage, only 2 laps to go. So Simon Beard, Nathan Finlay, that's the order of 1-2. Here's Bo Lewis coming. Has Bo achieved any result as high as a third place? I don't think so. So that'll be good. Oh, he's just been pipped. Rory Garvey. Yes, Rory's been up for some of those good results. So he's getting in there and getting involved in the excitement. So Rory Garvey. And some of you are going to say, I haven't heard of these names before. Now, of course, Carl Cox, in many cases, has been the introduction of riders into our national scene. It's where we first saw Jacob Stroud. It's where we first saw Jess Stroud. It's where we first saw Avalon Biddle, Daniel Medham, and those other names to mention. That dust, Brad, I think somebody must have gone. You don't get dust happening easily. Tell us the update.
Yeah, Nathan Finlay just running a bit deep into turn number 4, and easy mistake to make. The camber of the road sort of falls away on you after the apex, so easy to carry a bit too much speed in there. He's done really well to keep that on 2 wheels and ride it out, so credit to him, but he has lost that battle he was having for the lead, and now has rejoined the race, but he's way back in about 5th place and much off the pace, so that's going to fall into the hands of Simon Beard. He's going to really capitalise on that. He already had a massive advantage heading into this one, and really only a disaster can stop him from being crowned our highest sung Cup champion for the North Island Road Racing Spectacular. That will shake things up for Rory Garvey, Reeve Lee and Bo Larry, who having that good little battle. That becomes now the battle for 2nd place, so everyone gets a bit of an upgrade, and we've got Nathan Hill slot into about 5th or 6th place there.
What do you think those others are thinking? They might be new to the game as well, but a 12-year-old on a bike that's 100cc less than he is, it'd be a bit like a 50cc bike turning up to our scooter rides, and we've got bigger 125s, Brad, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's lambs to the slaughter sort of stuff, isn't it? But, he's only 12 years old, Taupo intermediate student, and does a good bit of motocross as well. Very capable rider on the off-road as well, and just loving the progression. He gets better and better. He had the goal. He wanted to get under the 2-minute mark. He's knocked that off this weekend. He's fastest lap of this one, a 2-minute 0.5, so he's certainly knocking on that pre-2-minute lap time as well, and this is absolutely brilliant to see. So the 250 is much more power, about 7 or 8 horsepower, and that doesn't sound like much on paper, but when his bike's only probably less than 20 horsepower in total, you're giving a big lot of horsepower to these bigger 250s, so well done to him. But Simon Beard now 16 seconds with that little mishap for Nathan, so 16 seconds. Rory Garvey now inherits 2nd place ahead of Reeve Lee and Bo Laurie. We've got Blaine is now up into 5th ahead of Nathan as well, and Guy Webster, James Fordyce and Hayden, the 2 Fordyce boys out there 8th and 9th place, with Megan Kemp, Jason Haselden and Jared Thompson. That's rounding out the top 12. And then go to Becky Newbury. Awesome stuff from Becky. 13th place. Jacob Stroud, he's pulled out of this one 4 laps in, so not sure what's happened. He's had, if it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck at all this weekend for Jacob. So just still got that massive smile on his face, and great to have him on the racetrack. We're on the final lap here. 1 lap to go, and it's all Simon Beard out in front of that bright yellow Beard Racing High Sung. He's been a class above really this weekend.
Well, when you come to big events like this, you're normally used to people that have had some form of racing. There might have only been a season or two, others that have done, a decade, or in the case of Tony Rees, has been racing over what has now been 5 different decades of racing. So that's an amazing feat for an all-round cool guy. But hey, you've got some that have come here for their first actual event, and we've got one of those out there wearing their high vis at the moment. Now, the reason they wear the high vis is just so everybody knows that this is a new guy. And I'll tell you what, he ain't been last, far from it. So fitting straight like a shoe into a boot, a foot into a boot. He has just come along there so well. So a neat story to tell about the new guns up there. But hey, Simon Beard looking all good, and Brad will bring him home.
Yeah, well done out of turn 14. It's going to be awesome. Icing on the cake for him. Another race victory. Simon Beard will take the honours here, and he will certainly win the overall with that one there. 68 on the bike, number 1 in the 5 race weekend we've had, and the North Island Road Racing Spectacular has been all but anything but non-spectacular. It's been brilliant. I've loved it. So Rory Garvey, second place for him. That'll be a good result for him. He'll come through there. And Reeve Lee, look at that from Reeve, gets home in 3rd place. So he just keeps climbing and climbing that leaderboard as the weekend goes on. And with his 2-minute lap times consistently as well, he'll be wrapped with the pace he's taken away from this weekend. Good one for Bo Lowry there in 4th place. Nathan Finlay gets up into 5th after going off the track in a little fight for the lead. So great recovery from him. Lane Pairama there in 6th place. Guy Webster gets 7th. The 2 Fordyce boys still 8th and 9th place. James and Hayden, well done boys. And then go to Megan Kemp, 10th place for Megan. Jason Helsenden. That's 11th. Then we cross the line with 12th, Jared Thompson, and 13th runner out there, Becky Newbury. Well done to our CarlCox Motorsport Higher Sun Cup. Brilliant. We had Supersport 150s in there as well with Reeve Lee, and we also started the weekend with our Ninja Cup in there, but they were a bit too much horsepower for this one, and they got moved into the 300 Supersport racing for a bit more fast and action-packed stuff for them. So awesome to have it. There it is, 3 races all in the same race, and that's Simon Beard takes the honours for this weekend.
Cool stuff. All right, getting towards the end of racing. Well, Brad, it's been exactly 12 months since we did our last road race. That's a cry in itself. But anyway, that's the situation the country's been in. And man, these turbo tonsils are hanging out at the moment. I certainly think we're going to take a nice cool drink at the end.